Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. This week, we've got a pair of teams who come in on different paths. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
They'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
Fresh set of downs here.
I'm coming after you, 25. I'm coming after you, 25. Let's go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Time to feature the offensive starters and to give some love to the tight end, Kyle Rudolph.
He's been to the Pro Bowl already, battled a few injuries, but he's back and better than ever. Has added a little yoga to his regimen in order to make him more nimble. That makes it that much harder for the defenders to catch him.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. It's caught. Michael Pruitt. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. They'll set up a throw, and he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence. It allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see a breakdown as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. Now Blair Walsh for the Viking field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. We get a look now at the offensive starting unit for the Detroit Lions, and one big target they have at tight end is Eric Ebron.
And they are ready for him to fulfill his promise because he was drafted to be a game breaker. Big target, guy who can block at the line of scrimmage, but really get downfield and make plays against defenders, overmatch them. They haven't seen enough of that yet. They want to come to the front in 2016.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Watch 80.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. Well, Stafford, he's got Fuller. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And out now come the Vikings. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble lost.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Take it at the 37. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. It's complete to Dante Down. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. It's complete to Fuller. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, but no problems converting there.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well,
else. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 8 yards to go here on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. The left side caught by Diggs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of in his native country, and at BYU was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really liked soccer and basketball, but football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well. Drafted on potential, he's realizing it here.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So here's 3rd and 20, and with a long yardage, defense going with a nickel look. The play-action fake. They have pressure coming, and they got him once again. Tahir Whitehead in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The dime unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll drop the throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. This will be caught inside the 10. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On play action, they'll throw. This will be caught at about the 5. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Lutz's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, nice move. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And now here's a carry heading left. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Here's Stafford now on second down. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
On second down, here's Stafford. He's got Fuller. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Still 9 yards to go on third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Stafford out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Again, it's Stafford. Going right side here, and that's complete. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff as they run left side. About 3 yards there to the 27.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
Second down following the run. To throw on second down is Stafford. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to die, and that brings up fourth down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Three yards remaining here on second down. They'll look to throw here. He's going to look deep down the field. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
After the interception, here's Stafford. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll be first down Lions.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
All right, so first down, 5 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On first down, it's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Second and 10, Stafford again. The left side completion to Jones. 23 yards on the play. And now a first down following that long gain. play action here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
So 2nd and 10 here. Now back to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back. I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync.
So the D-line's going to spread out. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And it's fielded at the 34. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They were trying to get it there to Dante Dye, and now it's 2nd down.
One of the great coaches said football's really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And it's incomplete. So they got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. They'll run it now out of the gun. A strong running. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well. And we saw on that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Back now at Ford Field. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Porter brings it in over the middle. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Oh, no, he lost the football. And an alley to run. And he cuts it out to the sideline. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain, and it's second down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
To throw on second down, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And tough starting field position here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now look at him go. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. An even 90 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come over with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And Dye has it over the middle. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Here's Stafford now on second down. It's complete to Fuller. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
Now it's Stafford. And Dye brings it in. Give him 18 on that one. And the Lions are going to have a first. Fresh set of downs here. On first down, it's Stafford. He gets it to Dye outright. And he's he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
To the air again, Stafford. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
But that was pretty nice to watch if you like a defense's perspective, because they understood where the first down line was as much as the offensive guys did. Did not give up any more ground, and when the ball was thrown, reacted really well and swatted it away. One of the advantages of zone defense, you never take your eyes off the quarterback, and when he reacts, you do exactly the same and go get the ball. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here.
Green, 39.
The setup to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. On second down, here's Stafford. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Now Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. see if they stay on the ground for second down. Shift together here from the D-line. To throw on second down is Stafford. And Dye has it over the middle. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. The offense lining up 1st and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion. He's back to throw. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Back to throw. And he connects with Ebron. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. In the red zone this time. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect that.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
And as the 4th quarter winds down here, we're all even.
And no one wants this game to extend. They want to go ahead and win it right now.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. They've got his man complete. A big play there for Minnesota. 47 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Now on 1st down, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Shotgun. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Detroit getting set to go now. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. After the interception, here's Stafford. He gets it to die outright. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So out now come the Lions. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Here's Stafford. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On second down, here's Stafford. And Dye has it over the middle. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. To throw on second down is Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. Oh, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So for the Vikings, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.